Pope says trans people cannot be godparents. Alex Salinas, a 21-year-old Roman Catholic and transgendered male from Cadiz, Spain, was denied the opportunity to be godfathered for his nephew. It has been reported that Salinas' parish priest initially accepted to make him the nephew's godfather. However, the decision was revoked by Bishop Rafael Zornoza. The bishop's decision was later upheld by the Congregation of the Doctrine of Faith, the Vatican's doctrinal watchdog agency under German Cardinal Gerhard Müller. In a statement published by Bishop Rafael Zornoza, he asserts it is impossible to admit a transsexual to be a godfather because transsexual behavior itself reveals, in a public manner, an attitude that is opposed to the moral demand of resolving one's own problem of sexual identity according to the truth of one's own sex. It is evident that this person does not possess the requisite of leading a life according to the faith and the position of godfather as it is required by church law. Discrimination is not to be seen in this, only a recognition of an objective lack of the requisites that by their own nature are necessary to take over ecclesiastical responsibility of being a godparent. Lisbeth Melendez Rivera, Director of Latino, Latina, and Catholic Initiatives for HRCF's Religion and Faith program, released a statement saying, "Just as we become more hopeful about progress in the Church, this decision denies transgender Catholics and their families a sacred responsibility to protect a child through life and spiritual formation. Make no mistake, transgender Catholics are already doing this, and with God's blessing, even as the Church rejects them. This lack of pastoral approach, rejecting Catholics through our own faith, is exactly the reason why so many LGBT people and allies leave the Church. This is not the Church I know and love." Through his social media account, Salinas conveyed disgust, anger, sadness, and ire at the bishop's decision and the subsequent upholding of that decision by the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith. In order to show their support for Alex Salinas, the baby's parents have refused to baptize their child, his nephew. A fight for the right to adopt and spank children. The Massachusetts Supreme Court is trying to decide whether Christian couples should be allowed to adopt foster children, given that their religious beliefs include spanking children to discipline them. The couple has already agreed not to spank foster kids placed temporarily in their care, so the question only arises should they choose to adopt these kids permanently as their own. The couple claims that they're being discriminated against on religious grounds, but state officials say that children in foster care often come from abusive homes and spanking might be traumatic for them. The couple already has 3 children of their own, and they presumably spanked them at one time, so we're left to wonder if foster children were adopted there, would it turn into a 2-class system? The couple's lawyer says that the nature of the no spanking rule prohibits all Christians and Jews from adopting foster children, even though they are clearly religious couples who do not practice spanking. Court-ordered religious classes for mother who wants to keep her children. A mother in New Mexico had her rights to partake in co-parenting her son suspended for a time because she refused to participate in a counseling session that included religious indoctrination. When she declined to continue with the sessions, she was placed in contempt of court. The court-appointed counselor was questioned by the media on some of her practices, but refused to answer the questions that cast doubt on the propriety of her methods, which included starting each meeting with a prayer and assigning homework consisted of probing the client's religious preferences. The court would not back down from the requirement that the mother finish the sessions with that particular counselor, and so she did so just to get the process behind her and have her children again. No legal actions were taken by the mother in this case, but ACLU officials were contacted and said that the methods being used by the counselor were inappropriate.